Today is Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2020. I'm Keith Wohr, and welcome to another episode of Homeless in Titusville. So as you guys can see, I do not have a guest today. We have this COVID-19 going on, and they're asking for social distancing and whatnot. And also, I've seen in the news they're saying that this is going to hit the homeless especially hard. And I guess we've never had kind of a question and answer of, me personally, who I am, what I do, those kinds of things. So I figured we would take this opportunity while I don't really, while I'm not able to do an interview, for you guys to ask me personal questions, right? Things that you want the answer to. Maybe you're wondering what kind of camera I use, what kind of microphone system I use, where I'm doing, how I do it, different things. So totally open to that, as long as you ask in a nice and respectful way, even if it's something that I don't quite agree with. I'm totally fine with that. So this is coming up on my 5th year of doing this, and I am 46, married, have 2 kids, and I have been doing these interviews now, as you guys know, with many of the local homeless, and I stay primarily here in Titusville. I try not to travel outside of Titusville. I guess for the reason for that mainly is so that people can kind of say to themselves, wow, for a small little area, that's a concentration, right? So if I start traveling in a larger area, then it's not as, I guess, in my mind, powerful, right? Because of course you can find them anywhere if you do, say, the whole state or the whole county or whatever. But anyway, it's just kind of my point of view, I guess, why I do what I do. So I just thought I would share that with you guys. So I am not able to go out and talk to people. I am still going to make up some little hygiene bags and drop off some of the stuff I have. And primarily the 2 main people that really support that and give me stuff so that I can hand it out to the homeless is a couple, Sandy and Bill. And Sandy and Bill give me probably 80 to 90% of the stuff that I have, I guess, to kind of pay people, compensate them for doing an interview with me. Of course, I generally buy them a little something to eat as well, a little meal, because I'm not going to do an interview about being hungry while actually being hungry. So that leads me to my next topic, I guess, that I wanted to discuss in this particular video. I've gotten some comments from people, and look, I can't make everybody happy, but I have enough, I guess, people mention it that I thought I would address it, right? So sometimes people will say, did I pay these people for the interview? Was my crew good to them and all that kind of stuff, And I laugh at a lot of that because I don't have a crew. It's just me. I go out there, I'm the one that films, I edit, I do everything. I don't have anyone helping me. I wish I did. That would be great if I did. But that's just not the reality. The other thing is I do not do these on a particular schedule. A lot of people on YouTube will say, follow my channel, I publish a new video every, Sunday afternoon or Friday or whatever it is. I can't do that for 2 reasons. One reason is my health. I have nerve damage in both of my legs and problems with the nerve in my right arm and some other stuff, just tons of health difficulties that I have. And so this has kind of been in a hobby type lane. What? Yeah.
Well, I can't see that.
Yeah, just filming my show. It's all good. So anyway, a neighbor was just wondering what I was doing, what was going on. Okay, so back to that, right? Is talking about my health and some of my challenges. The other challenge is I can't generally call or get, so I get a lot of the phone numbers from the people out on the street, right? They give me their phone number and they have mine, but a lot of them aren't really good at their follow through. So I can't say, hey, if today's Monday, and say to them, I'll be back on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock at a particular park. So because, you know, some of them work, but a lot of them are just unreliable, you know. That's kind of, you know, goes to why they are homeless too, right? They have these issues, and you know, so generally what I do is I carry my cameras with me, and at the time that I'm asking and talking about the interview, we do it right then and there, because, you know, they may not, you know, be with me. So the other thought was to take the video and say I filmed 2 or 3 of them a day, in one day, and then release them like every week, and then I could do that type of schedule. The problem with that is many of you like to reach out and help some of these people out, and if I did that, then the video may be a week old or 2 weeks old or whatever, and I always try to say what the date is in the video so that you know it's a fresh video, it's an old video, they're still in need, they're not in need, you know, what the deal is with that, right? Okay, so back to the payment. Okay, so I don't pay anybody any cash money. Also, because legally I'm not a 501c3 organization, I cannot ask for money on any particular person's behalf, right? So I can't say, oh, you guys saw Joe Smith in the video, send money and I'll make sure it gets to Joe Smith. I can't do that legally. So if you send me money on my donate now on my YouTube channel, you have to just trust that I'm doing what you would hope I would do with it, right? Sometimes I need a piece of camera equipment, sometimes I need a battery, sometimes I get a tank of gas, sometimes I buy somebody a sandwich. But legally I could go on vacation with that money too. I could do whatever I want. Now, generally it isn't a problem. Right now, the support I'm getting is about $10 a month. As far as money, I had gotten up to, I think it was just under 40. 3 or 4 different people had been giving $10 a month. But anyway, you know, and so that helped, you know, it helped me with gas or buying a sandwich or whatever, but by no means was I ever getting wealthy, nor did I really set out to, like, I guess, do this to, you know, get wealthy type thing. I mean, hey, if I were able to, I guess, make a living at it, I don't really see a problem. But I will say this, right? Some people will say, did you compensate that person for their story? Now, this is what I want those of you who think that way to really kind of think. So we've all seen stories on the mainstream media about service members dying, right? On NBC, ABC, CBS, okay? Before they do that interview with the family or they put that up, you see a commercial, and then after that happens, you see a commercial run, okay? So that means that they are monetizing that interview that they just did with that family who lost their member, their family, serving our country, okay? Well, guess what? The news is not paying them for that interview. They're just not, okay? But, you know, those cameras, the gas that it, you know, took to get those vehicles there or whatever to get the story, that money has to come from somewhere, right? I mean, it just doesn't come out of thin air. The other thing that I have to say to some of those people who have, I guess, left me nastier comments is, okay, so let's just say that I have paid them. Let's just say, okay, and I've compensated them, which I feel like compensated them by hooking them up with help and, you know, a meal and whatnot, right? But what about you, the viewer at home that feels that way? Should I then get some kind of a mailing address so that you personally can send them some money because you just sat and, you know, watched some infotainment or entertained yourself or educated, whatever you want to say, but in a way you just took from them too and you didn't compensate them. So, you know, I don't know. It's just a thought that occurred to me. I think that even if I were making some money on YouTube, certainly I would take a percentage of that. And, you know, like if it was some huge amount, say it was like, you know, say I was making like $100,000 or something on it, certainly I would take a percentage and, you know, send it to a 501c or you know, whatever. Or show more of that kind of stuff in the videos. Right now, I generally don't show handing out the food bags and stuff like that, with the exception of just a few videos. It's just kind of, I don't know, just in the moment, I'm just not feeling it, I guess, but maybe it would make a lot of you feel better to know and to see that stuff, right? So the other thing is I always tell the person that I've interviewed and you guys at home that you can friend them on on Facebook. You can find them on the Homeless in Titusville Facebook page, where you can connect. So you could ask these guys all kinds of personal questions and say things like, hey, was Keith good to you? Did he treat you right? And so on. You know, what happened? So I'm pretty open with that. So I will say too, you know, I've invited anyone who ever wants to come out with me for the day and go and kind of see what I do to, you know, do interviews. Of course, I only go out for a few hours at a time because of my health situation. And, but certainly, you know, we can arrange something. You guys could come out with me. I'm totally transparent. You can see how the interviews are conducted, what I do, you know, just that kind of thing. So totally open to that. And you guys can, of course, you know, you can leave me the comments on YouTube. I don't know why, but I discovered recently an easier way to respond to YouTube comments instead of having to go to each video and scroll down the list and look for that comment to respond to that and whatnot. But anyway, it's just a lot easier if you guys contact me on Facebook. You know, Facebook private message, it's just very convenient for me. You know, accept your friend request and just communicate there. I do appreciate the comments on YouTube because then that lets, you know, some of the others know that are watching, or, you know, if they have some little whatevers and they see some of the dialogue between you guys. And then I do my best. At times. At times I'm better than others. But you know, that's the other thing too. I guess I really didn't take myself as serious as I should. I've had some people here recently tell me I should take take myself a little more serious in what I'm doing and really buckle down and do the Instagram. You know, I do have some Instagram pictures and you know, some of those other things. One thing that did occur to me, so there were like maybe 4 or 5 that this happened. A local guy here made up a little t-shirt that said, I appeared on Homeless in Titusville, right? For the person to wear while they're out doing whatever, right? Panhandling on the corner or whatever. And then people to drive by, and one, it would, I guess, advertise the show, and 2, it would be like, hey, if you wanted to know more about that particular person, they did an interview, right? So, but I really don't have a design for something like that. So I will give you guys my email. I've been horrible at checking my email, but now with the this video coming out, I will try to improve checking it and all those kind of things. But you'll never guess what the email address is. Well, it's homelessintitusville@gmail.com, of course, right? But anyway, so send me a message there. Maybe you guys have an idea for a shirt or something that could be printed, or you know of where I can get those, or, you know, like at a better cost, or, you know, maybe you're willing to, you know, design them and, you know, buy 100 of them and have them sent to me or something. I don't know, to pass out to people. And then certainly, you know, if some of the people that watch wanted to, you know, purchase one of those in the future, you know, this is all pie in the sky stuff, right? Nothing's going on with it yet, but, you know, maybe a percentage of it can go to, you know, like I said, to the local food bank here or whatever. We'll just have to see. But for now, it's just kind of an idea to throw out there. Also tell you guys the other reason about, you know, I'm really taking this social distancing stuff serious, and they're saying it's going to affect the homeless community even worse than everyone else, and it's just a horrible thing. But I also have a disabled son that lives with me. He's an adult, but he does not have a large intestine. He had that removed, and so he's underweight and whatnot. He is just not a well person. You know, he's able to self-care and all those things now, thankfully, and he's grown, he's an adult, but you know, he's disabled, and so I have to make sure best I can that I'm not bringing something home to him, which I'm sure many of you understand that. The other concern for me right now, our governor hasn't done it, but some of the other states and counties have done it here in Florida, is put in a curfew from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. And, if you think about it, what they're doing is making it now an official crime to be homeless, because how else, you know, you're not able to comply with that. You're gonna be out on the street from 11 to 5 a.m. because you have nowhere to go. I know I saw Buddy Dyer and those guys talking in Orlando that they have actually made plans for the homeless and thought about that. So very, very thoughtful. But I did a little bit of research myself, and it looks like the highest authority in our county is our sheriff. So regardless of what the governor may say or anyone else, if our sheriff, if Brevard County Sheriff locks us down, then we're locked down. They are the highest law enforcement official for your county. They overrule everyone. So if, let's say, all but one county enacts this curfew, it won't matter what the governor says. It'll basically be a shutdown. But I do give him a lot of credit for letting people have that freedom. I think most people are trying to be as responsible as they can, but I mean, you can't go stopping everybody on the street, you know, with tell them not to go to work. Like, you know, why are you out? Are you at the gas station? Are you at the pharmacy? Are you picking up food? Like, you know, and I would hope that a lot of my family, friends, and neighbors are exercising common sense like I am, and, you know, so many others that I know are really trying to do that. So, but anyway, I'm going to wrap up for now, but remember, you can leave the comments on YouTube and, you know, ask some questions. I will read the questions because I have to read all of those things before I publish the comment. So, you know, leave your comment there, and I will take some little notes and answer them, and hopefully we'll be doing this weekly until this is all over, and I will answer some of your questions that you guys have had, right? I know there's got to be questions that you guys have had, you know, of me personally. So best I can share with you guys. But like I said, the Facebook is much easier. So I guess wrap up as I always do, and may you be just as blessed as you have blessed others. And until next time, thanks for watching.